Hello, friends from the comic book and manga world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to talk about the October 28th, 2024 FOC. Hector and I, we work for Penguin Random House. The titles that you'll see today are those that we can sell around the world. Aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter X at PRH International Comics, where you'll see our posts, updates, and news on there. So definitely check us out on those platforms. We'll go ahead and get started on our picks for this week. And it's actually me first, which I've already talked about this many times, but I had to
Yeah.
since it's up on FOC. This is Cherry Blossoms After Winter by Bangwoo. And just to give you a little bit of a premise, in case you haven't heard of this at all, this is about Hebom, who was, when he was 7 years old, unfortunately, he lost his parents in a car accident, and this happened out of nowhere, and he had nowhere else to go. So he moves in with the family of his childhood friend, and his childhood friend, Miss Taesung. And even though they were friends, for some reason, the situation has like gotten them distanced for a reason. So they didn't really have like a tight friendship growing up, even though they were in the same households. And years have passed. They're now seniors in high school. It's been years. They barely spoke to each other during that entire time. But now that since they're in the same class for the first time, Hebom is really struggling to make friends. He's plagued by bullying, and his former friend, Taesung, fends off his persistent bully, and everything changes from them. So even though they used to be friends, got distanced from each other, this situation has now gotten them closer together. They sit together at lunch. They begin like acting like they're friends again. And Hevom is really unsure about what to make of this change and this difference. But this could really be the last chance for them to make to have a closer relationship because it is their last year of high school. And of course, this being a boy's love, things kind of brew up and even more with their relationship. So this volume one includes episodes 1 to 15 of the webcomic with the same name, Cherry Blossoms After Winter. And if you would like more content, there is a K-drama adaptation of this, which is very excellent as well. Fans of the K-drama definitely would be riling up for this one. So again, highly recommend. Very, very cute story between these two. Very wholesome and highly recommend.
Yay. And next up is one of my picks. This is a cover pick. This is well, technically cover pick. I'm going to talk about the book too. This is the Carlisle School for Kings #1. This is the cover 8. There's only one cover. Anyways, is Davide Castelluccio, who is actually also the illustrator of this book written by Nelson Greaves. And this is a very cool, as you can tell by the cover, a very cool fantasy story. It takes place in this world where every 30 years they have um, the Carlisle School for Kings, and anybody in the world can apply to it. And in this academy, they trained all the students to they bring in all the brightest minds from the kingdom, and they train them in different things, matters of the heart, strength, and mind, and it is to find out who is the best of the best, and then they can become king for the next 30 years. And because they accept anybody, they even accept uh Emmeline Heron, who you see here at the front of the cover, who is actually the daughter of traders. But because the rule is they can accept anybody, they have to accept Emmeline. But obviously, this is it's a school, and it's like a lot of infighting, and there's going to be betrayals and revenge and all of that. And it's very interesting because researching for the book, and of course, I first of all, David Castelluccio, you need to check out all his art. It's amazing, just like this cover. He is an Italian artist. I don't see any other comics in the U.S. where he is credited for, so I think this might be the first time. But in his bio, he has done obviously things in Italy, including comics and animation and all that. But also, there's an interview on CBR for this book with both creators, and Nelson Graves, the author, who's the screenwriter for Unfriended, the movie, and also a lot of other like media, like the TV show C, were made with Jason Momoa and Sleepy Hollow. Remember that show? He was one of the writers there, so he's has a lot of experience in that field. But he was asked about the book, and he said that he was inspired by his personal experience at college and being a country boy coming to an Ivy League college, how there was a lot of bullying and a lot of there was a lot of betrayal and the things that he writes in here, like if there were he wasn't in situations where his life was threatened like in the book, but and he didn't have a giant in the middle of the mess hall, but he got inspired by everything we went through in college. So I thought that was very, very interesting. So this is not just an amazing looking cover, and all the other covers that have been really real for the next couple of issues are also very cool, but also the story is very amazing. So check it out, definitely.
Mhm. Next up, True Weird Volume 1 by a bunch of creators.
Hmm.
If you've seen this before or if you've picked it up, we came out with, or there, I would say, Dark Horse came out with trade paperbacks of Blue Books series 1 and 2. So basically, collecting both series into one collection in this trade paperback under the title of True Weird. So that's what you're
Hmm.
getting here. So it's basically a black and white anthology series, featuring stories of ordinary people going head to head against like the extraordinary. So it's like true accounts if you believe they're true,
Yeah.
but to these writers, true accounts featuring a lineup of these writers and artists and things that they encountered that seemed weird, like ghost or paranormal phenomenons or medical oddities. It's like anything that they've encountered strange in real life is put together in this anthology. So it features 12 strange true stories from like the world around us, and it includes the creators, such as, and I'm just naming off some of the creators here, like James Tynion the Fourth, Michael Avon Oeming, Klaus Janson, Ming Doyle, John McCree, Genevieve Valentine, Adita Bidikar, Anand RK, Gavin Fullerton. I could list them, I could go on, but these are just a few of the creators that are in this lineup. So, again, highly recommend. It was originally published on Substack, but then got collected in trade paperback in those two volume series collections, and now we've combined them together in this trade paperback that you're seeing here. So
Yeah. And we continue with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Nation #3. This is the cover A by Javi Fernandez. And let me say, this is such a great cover. I mean, I've been loving the covers for this book since issue 1. They're very cool, and especially the cover A's by Hector Torres. I'm a big fan, but this one especially is amazing. You have here these three mutants. You have Mondo Gecko in the background kicking, I guess, a spaceship, and then we have Mutagen Man kind of looking at a map and try to see where they're at. And you have Pigeon Pete saying, "Hi, I'm Pete," right there in the middle of the whole thing. And Also, you see a bubble with Karai just like popping up because there's a backup story in this book. So the main story continues the story of attacking Area 51, which these three are actually captured, and Raphael is trying to rescue them, but also continues the backup story with Casey Jones and Karai. It's called Casey Jones, Agent of the Foot Clan. Uh, this again is such a cool, cool cover, and I love every aspect of it. But especially the "Hi, I'm Pete" right there in the middle. So there you go.
This cover reminds me of like those
Uh-huh.
TikTok videos of what kind of traveler are you? It's like, are you the one that actually takes the lead? Or are you the one who gets really stressed and angry? Or maybe
Yeah,
perhaps you just like to take it as you go.
the
You
very
don't
laid
care.
back kind
Very
of.
laid
Yeah,
back,
whatever happens is
carefree.
okay with me. Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
All right. And then this, I've been following this ever since it got announced. Because very excited. This is coming out of Square Enix. This is Always a Catch Volume 1. I definitely talked about this before. But I'll talk about it again. It's
Yeah,
about Maria, who's the daughter of a duke, and because she known for a majority of her life that she's probably going to inherit her father's dukedom, she's focused on her attention on honing her martial arts and trying to become that leader that she expects to be. But what happens is a baby brother is born, and unfortunately, that title will probably not go to her. So she's like, okay, well, I will not be the one inheriting the throne anymore. Maybe it's time to shift my purpose here. And unfortunately, with that time period, it's probably marriage. And she's like, well, it's kind of too late for me to start looking. Maybe I should go to a neighboring country to see if they would be
yeah,
interested, if she could find a bachelor to marry her, despite like trying to go after it later in life. I say later in life. Later in life for them, for that age, I guess they're still young.
yeah.
Anyway, she goes study abroad to that neighboring country to try to find a way to get hitched. And then some odd situation happens. The crown prince declares to everyone that the engagement to her is null and void, and she's like, that's weird because we've never been engaged. Why are you saying it's canceled? What engagement are you talking about? So apparently he's mistaken her for someone else, for the wrong girl. They clear it up. But turns out, oh, maybe this is the direction we should be heading because he's completely enamored by her because he's seen her knocking out a bunch of bandits and he has a thing of a lady who can fight on her own. And I just really love that she decides to use brass knuckles as an accessory for her hair because
Yeah.
you just never know
Oh,
when you need to take it off
I
to
didn't know
do.
this before. Oh, okay, cool.
Yes. It's really cool. I love it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it's like a fashion accessory.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's my pick.
Excellent. And we continue with Space Usagi, Y Star Rising #2. This is cover B, a 1 in 10 by Peach Momoko. So beautiful, obviously. We're huge fans of Peach Momoko, so every once in a while we have to talk about Peach. And this is beautiful. Sorry, I don't know the name of this character, but she looks amazing here. And this story, it's just another one of those space Usagi, written by the great Stan Sakai, and I think it also involves Emi Fuji, who's his wife. But this, seeing the fireflies and this character sort of in a short kimono, just walking down a path, it's very, very, very cool and beautiful. I mean, there's not much you can say to just admire Peach art. That's all you could do, really. There you go.
All right, and then we have a piece of news. So Comic-Con, at least the time of this recording, Comic-Con we had just passed that, and the Harvey Awards
Mm,
announced series of several winners.
Yeah.
But the Harvey Award for the best children's book goes to Mexikid. This is graphic memoir, just to tell you a little bit about the story in case you don't know. Pedro grew up hearing stories about his abuelito and his crime fighting grandfather, who was once part of the Mexican Revolution. But just because his grandfather is a very cool man who is involved in very historic events, doesn't mean he's excited that he's coming to live with them. After all, he has 8 brothers and sisters, and there isn't
Yeah.
much room. But even still, they pile up and decide to go on a road trip to Mexico to bring his grandfather home. And this turns into a trip of a lifetime, filled with laughs, heartache, and along the way, he connects with his grandfather, learns what it means to grow up, learns a lot of lessons from him as well. So, again, very dear and near to the heart of the creator. Again, graphic memoir that won the Newbery Honor Award. It also was the winner of the Pura Belprix Award, the Author and Illustrator Award as well. And so to add on to the accolades, we now add on the Harvey Award. So
Yeah.
very big congratulations to the creator here, and well deserved for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Right, and that's it for our video for this week. Thank you for joining us. And as always, come back next week because we do these on a weekly basis. If you have any comments, questions, and do tell us, let us know what you'll be picking up for this week and in the comments below. And yeah, that's it for this week. And bye, everyone.
Bye.